Hello everybody, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Unfortunately, Harry is still in the news, so we have to go along with it, don't we? Well, I'm going to stick to Harry like everyone else, but I'm also going to deviate a little from the main topic during the course of this video. First, we are still waiting for the last hearing on the A&L case, the one which will determine who will pay what. The media is talking about 50 million, but I heard they are actually still calculating the cost and are now up to about 67 million. Jay says that the 50 million excluded the last appearance and some extras. So yes, I can understand that. A&L's lawyers likely hired researchers and investigators, etc. And those people also needed to be paid. And ultimately, the Daily Mail A&L is now 100% within their right to recover that money. So I'm not going to speculate on where they will end up in their calculations, but I believe Jay in that they are now at about £67 million. So that means that if costs are equally shared among the complainants, then each will have to pay at least 9.6 million British pounds. But Jay says he heard that Harry's side is gearing up for his bill to come to about 11 million. He says he's guessing that the judge is going to split the cost proportionate to the number of complaints each complainant brought. Now, I see that some publications are a little confused. There were 97 individual allegations or then complaints of unlawful information gathering, but only 25 distinct claims, of which 14 from Harry, 6 from Elton John, 1 from David Furnish, 1 from Doreen Lawrence, 1 from Simon Hughes, and 1 from Sadie Frost, and yes, 1 more from Liz Hurley. The rest, the 72 or so remaining claims, were either just broader allegations or it overlapped with the articles investigated during the hearings. So as you can see, Harry brought more than double the number of formal legal claims than even Elton John. Now, this is not from Jay, but merely a piece of gossip. So, I'm warning you, it could or it could not be true, okay? I'm told that Elton John has offered to pay each claimant's legal fees, because what the media forgets is that over and above what A&L may be claiming, each complainant has their own legal costs as well. So apparently, allegedly, Elton has offered to pay that, to pay their own personal legal costs. Now, oh my gosh, I looked into it, and there's more than only Sherborne to be paid. Sherborne was the lead courtroom barrister, but behind the scenes there were 3 other solicitor firms involved. Gunnar Cook, LLP, for Elton John, David Furnish, Elizabeth Hurley and Doreen Lawrence. Thompson, Heath and Associates for Simon Hughes, and Sheridan Solicitors LLP for Harry and Sadie Frost. So make no mistake, each of these instructing solicitors will want their pound of flesh. Now, will Elton pay all of them? or only Sherborne for his collective bill as courtroom barrister for all of them. It is said that as a collective, they did take out insurance, but only for about 14 million. So, oh my gosh, having a vague idea about Harry's current financial situation, this sounds more and more devastating. And remember, I reminded you yesterday about the pending case brought by Sophie Chanduka. Now, apart from all of this, there's gossip. Gossip which I do not have proof of, but which I think could very well be true. So, according to this particular gossip, Harry's trouble is even larger than the impending legal bills. There's talk about taxes not being paid, property tax being in arrear, and a number of other bills piling up. One of our subscribers, and she's welcome to put up her hand in the comment section if she wants to. It is my policy not to mention names, but she's welcome to say, it was me. Okay. Anyway, she says that someone she knows very well or is rather close to is aware of an account which has gone unpaid for a while. And when Meghan was confronted about it, she reacted with something like, "How dare you? Do you know who I am?" So it appears that Meghan does not know who she is. So can someone please get her some help? I'm only joking. It appears that Meghan still thinks that because she's married to a quasi-royal, she should get everything free, or then that no one should sue her because she is a duchess. Now, if the gossip is indeed true, then I see dark days ahead for the Sussexes. Now, next up, at the end of July will also be the revisiting of Harry's visa. And I'm sorry, but if that judge is as fair and as bold as Judge Nichols, then I think Harry is in trouble once again. And here is why. We know the Heritage Foundation previously sued the Department of Homeland Security seeking access to Harry's visa records. But the court upheld Harry's privacy rights. However, the Heritage Foundation filed a new case, and that is where I was wrong. I was under the impression that they appealed the previous case. But according to Newsweek, they actually filed a new case seeking other documents the department holds relating to Harry, allegedly leading to 307 documents comprising 2,487 pages being reviewed. According to Newsweek, the state will begin releasing these documents at the end of July. Now, I, as always, question everything, and I get very frustrated if the answers are not in an article. So, although they make it sound like we will see the documents, I'm not so sure exactly what they meant. Will they release it to the court, or has it already been reviewed by the court? And will it only be released to the Heritage Foundation end of July? Now, I believe it will be handed over to the Heritage Foundation. I imagine reading somewhere that the judge had already reviewed these 2,487 pages. Now, according to the Heritage Foundation, although they will not be getting the actual visa papers, they believe that these documents will prove their wider argument that Harry was given special treatment by immigration officials when he moved to America. Now, yes, I understand that Heritage's argument has always been that Harry either failed to declare his past drug use or had been given favorable treatment. But my question has also always been, what are they going to do with the information once they have it? And now I'm going to circle back to the A&L court case. Charlotte Griffith made it clear that had it not been for the court case and the accusations and allegations against her, she would never have spoken about her fling with Harry. And I believe her. Her article, however, contains one nugget of disturbing information. She mentions Harry giving her a white pill and Harry stating that by taking it, she is proving that he can trust her. Folks, Harry was not a baby or a teenager when this happened. He was 28 years old. Giving someone a drug, whether it is consensual or not, is a criminal offense, just as selling drugs are. This is extremely disturbing, and it fits very neatly in with a number of stories I heard about Harry's treatment of women in the past and his conduct around women in the past. It is obvious that he does not respect the average girl much, and there are times when I heard some of these stories that I was actually made to believe that he does not like women much. I unfortunately only have the word of those who told me these stories and no proof, and I really cannot afford to be sued. But one such story is that Harry's 3-month stint on a cattle ranch in Queensland, Australia, was not cut short because of the media, but because of his behavior. And his location would not have leaked if it wasn't for a couple of drunken incidents. Well, I think there was alcohol or weed involved. Maybe he was just naturally horrible. I'm not sure. Anyway, that is but one example of the stories I heard or then which was actually sent to me. The point is that Harry is not an American citizen, and as a non-citizen he falls under the jurisdiction of the feds. So even though the use of marijuana and other drugs may be legal in California, it is still not legal under federal law. So no matter what, Harry admitted, he admitted on a public forum and in his book and many other places to using drugs and smoking weed on United States soil. And therefore, regardless of his visa, he has broken the law. And even the Heritage Foundation is indeed pussyfooting around that. And that is why I'm questioning their seriousness surrounding this case. Harry broke the law. End of story. And if he was an ordinary guy from any other country, he would have had his visa revoked and escorted out of the country. And on that, you can 100% believe me. Remember my book, Fallen Angel? It is loosely based on someone I know who got such a generous escort out of the country for a similar reason. Okay, his visa also expired, but he was caught because he was smoking weed on American soil. So I'm asking you, isn't it the government's priority to protect its citizens? So why fight to keep Harry in the United States when, number one, he is indeed breaking the law. He broke the law, he's still breaking the law. And number two, when he is a clear danger to himself and others. And number three, when he is opposing the government of the day, calls the First Amendment bonkers, and advocates against free speech. I do not get it. Like Judge Nichols did, and for the sake of the public, Harry has to be treated like anyone else. He has to. We don't yet know what the full consequences for Harry as a person will be, and I'm quite serious when I say my heart aches a little for Diana's son. But no man can do what Harry did and still does and get away with it forever. There are about, 8.3 billion other people in the world, and Harry is but one of them. He cannot get away with his behavior forever. It will be an atrocity to allow it. Okay, guys and girls, that is it from me for now. Please take good care of yourselves, stay vigilant, and stay safe. And why? Because I love you. Bye.